Hi guys, Colin here at the Deep Tissue Massage Center to help you get these big glute muscles firing so they can help support your core and get you out of acute and chronic low back pain. So the glute muscles are actually the powerhouse of the body. They are the biggest and strongest muscles we have. And they're the muscles that took us from climbing around on all fours as primates to pulling the whole body up into an upright position. But what do we do with these? We insult them all day long by sitting on them. We're at our computers, we're driving our cars, and we're sitting on the couch with a remote control in a slouch position usually. So most people come into my office and they look like this. We call these people butt tuckers. Not a very nice name and not a very nice look. It's not going to win you any dates to the prom, that's for sure. And they walk like this. The problem is when you tuck your butt underneath like this, you're turning your glutes off. So you're turning the strongest muscle in your body off. You're also locking your pelvis and your sacrum into place in such a way that when you take a step and you absorb impact up through your body, it now gets jammed into your low back instead of dissipating through your body. So what we want to do is we want to take you from this position to being able to get your butt out. Now, one of the tricks with this is to not get into the habit of arching the back and sticking the rib cage forward. That's a cheat and it actually creates more problems than through the mid back and then eventually into the low back. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to get the rib cage in the correct position and then be able to move the pelvis the way you need to so your butt's sticking out and you can get those glutes to fire correctly. So the first thing we need to do is we need to address this rib cage. Now, one of the big myths is that pulling your shoulders back and down is good for you. It actually isn't, because it compresses the upper ribs and it actually forces you to not be able to get as much volume into your breathing, into your rib cage. It throws your mechanics off. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get you into the habit of thinking of your rib cage like a cylinder that we're trying to lift straight up, as if your spine is a string that's just lifting it up toward the sky. Now, one of the things with this is people think, well, that means my shoulders are going to do this. We don't want you wearing your shoulders as earrings, because that's not a good look any more than this is. So what we're going to have you do is put your hands on your rib cage like this, and I'm going to have you breathe into your upper chest and then into your ribs here. So you're lifting it straight up. You're going to breathe into your upper chest and then expand out into the rib cage. And when you breathe out, I want you to keep your rib cage lifted up at this height. And what you'll find is your shoulders drop back to where they're supposed to, your head drops back to where it's supposed to, and you've actually now created more space between here and here and here and here. And what that does is it decompresses your low back. So now you're getting more blood and oxygen into the discs and in around the vertebrae so that low back can start to heal the way that it needs to, and it starts to create enough space so that you can move your pelvis the way you need to and you're not stacking your rib cage on top of your pelvis. So again, breathing into the upper chest and then out sideways this way into the rib cage, lifting it up as a cylinder, not forward and back. Now, from this position, with your rib cage in the correct position, what I'm going to have you do is go from a tilted, tucked under position here to slowly tilting your pelvis forward while remembering to keep the rib cage lifted up and expanded out. So you're just going to tilt that pelvis forward and back to neutral, forward, back to neutral. We want to start to create some space in here for the rib cage, or rather the pelvis, to do what it needs to do. And then I would suggest that you practice standing in that position for a period of time, again, breathing in the chest, expanding out through the rib cage with the pelvis tipped forward. Now, my next video is going to take you into how you then incorporate that into walking and movement so that you're continually starting to get these sacroiliac joints and get the hips and everything to fire along with the glutes the way that they're supposed to. So everything's starting to work and doing its appropriate job. So thank you for joining us. Remember, at the Deep Tissue Massage Center, we create health.